All right, what's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Darian's Competitive Pokemon. Going to be rolling a game on PTCGO with Drampa Garbodor. Drampa Garbodor deck I don't have a ton of experience with, but it is making a comeback in standard format. Did very well at the regional championships over in Vancouver, so that's pretty cool. And so now super relevant again, and we all need to practice with it and figure out where the deck fits into standard format. Is it a top tier contender again? Seems like it. Or was it just kind of a one and done at that regional? And will it get outclassed very soon by the likes of Buzzwole and things like that? We will see. So you can see here, Drampa Garbodor is just an extremely consistent deck. Like, I do love it for that. It reminds me a lot of Drampa Zoroark, just from the list that I played at the international championships. Just being able to rely on Drampa for early game, pressure with Righteous Edge, for early game Berserk damage, just being able to do huge, massive damage as early as turn 2, and Big Wheel GX. I mean, this is just a great card to start with. It is, consistent with Big Wheel GX. You can boost your consistency. You see here that I started a dead hand. However, I started a Drampa and 2 Trubbish, and, and that's great. So I could afford to just Big Wheel GX on the first turn of the game here, just attach the energy there and do that, and that's fine, because typically I would have had to Ultra Ball for a Lele in order to get that, in order to get like a Bridget, right? But I've already got 2 Trubbish down, so I'm not terribly concerned. I can do that. I could have Ultra Balled here. I could Ultra Ball away maybe the Espeon and one other card for a Tapu Lele if I do want to play Lele, if I do want to play a supporter on the first turn of the game. I'm not like totally feeling the need to do that, though. I'm kind of just cool with the setup that I got. Gonna play a little reactively, see what my opponent's got going on here on their side of the field. I'm not totally sure what deck they're even playing yet. I think I probably should have, was it Grass and Psychic? Yeah, I don't know what they're playing. Maybe they're playing Golisopod. Oh, they're playing Golisopod. All right. So we should be okay in this matchup. I play a lot of Po-Town, so unless my opponent can find their Field Blower and knock Po-Town out of the equation, then I should be cool. Just take us some big knockouts here with Drampa. Now, I will say that my Garbodor is not going to make a big difference against this deck unless we're talking about late game and going in with Trashalanche. So let's see, my Espeon probably not going to be that big of a deal either. So let's just go ahead and Ultra Ball away the Floatstone and the Espeon. I do want to draw cards here because it's very important that I try and get a Po-Town down. So I think I am just going to go ahead and get the Tapu Lele, and I'm going to get a Sycamore here to draw as aggressively as I can. I'm going to also just take this opportunity to just bump that DCE off my opponent's active Pokemon. Don't really know what they were thinking there, but that's fine, because we take that. So let's go ahead, grab that Sycamore. We're going to Righteous Edge my opponent for 50 after I Sycamore sometime. Discard that double colorless energy. We did get the Po-Town, so that is cool. And now we are sitting here ready to go, for a turn to 180, really. My opponent, if they cannot get if they cannot get a Field Blower here to bump this Po-Town, then they're going to evolve their Golisopods up through Po-Town. And if they evolve their Golisopod up through Po-Town, then that means that, yep, here he goes. He's got 40 damage on him already. I'm cool with that. That's fantastic because now I could do 180 damage and knock that thing out. Assume my opponent hits a Floatstone here. They play like 4 of them in that deck, so like odds are they'll get it. But if they do play Floatstone and then come in here, okay, they got the Field Blower. That's a little annoying because now I'm also not knocking out that Golisopod. I'm only doing 150 damage, so I can't get that knockout. That's a little frustrating. But they did not get the Floatstone, so that is awesome. Let's go ahead. I don't have my Po-Town anymore. Jeez, that's annoying. So I guess I will just evolve up just to get one of these evolved. But then I'll probably end up ending here just in hoping that I get, let's see, how many items they have? 1, 2, 3. They only have 3 down. Could like Guzma up and knock, I could Guzma up the Trubbish and knock it out. That's like kind of a cute little play. But then they could go ahead and knock out my Garbodor with, first impression, and that's just more annoying than anything. Let's see. They could knock out my Drampa next turn if they get like Choice Band, DCE, Crossing Cut for knockout. Like that would be super frustrating, and I'm not really trying to deal with that. However, I'm also like in a weird spot where I'm not knocking out this Tapu Lele. So like I don't love that either. I could acid spray the Golisopod, like that's kind of cute. Try to remove his rainbow energy, but we'll probably just go ahead and end here. Let's just attach this. Let's attach the float stone to my bench Trubbish, and then let's just end. I don't think I wanted to grab, anything with that rescue stretcher. We did get a Po-Town, so that's cool, but we did not get an evolution Pokemon, so that's not cool. So let's just go ahead, put the Po-Town into play. Let's put the Trubbish into play. And then do we Berserk? Do we Big Wheel? I feel like we Big Wheel and just like hope my opponent doesn't like punish me for that. I guess we Big Wheel because they could just like Acerola DC Choice Band. Like, then that would just be so bad. But I feel like I do have to Big Wheel here just to continue drawing. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have an end and I get to stick around with this hand. Maybe double committing the energy to the Drampa was a little greedy there. However, I did want to, I just wanted to take a knockout on the Tapu Lele. Like, that would have put me in a really good position as far as the prizes go. Well, okay, my opponent plays Enhanced Hammer. That's good to know. Let's see. They got a Choice Band on their Golisopod. Oh, now they just need a DC and a Float Stone, or an Acerola and a DCE, something like that, and they are going to be punishing this Drampa. So let's hope they don't get that 2-card combination off this end to 6. They are able to nerf my Big Wheel, but that's fine because my hand was dead. Imagine if they have what they need, they're just going to slap it down really fast because that's, it's exactly what they want, is to get rid of this Drampa. It is causing them probably more trouble than they would care for at this point. I am excited about Latios, though. I think Latios is cool. Should be good in this matchup. They got the DCE, but no Float Stone. Oh my gosh, did they prize all of their Float Stones? What did they do? That is crazy. So, at this point, where do I go from here? I feel like I want the Latios in play. I feel like I evolve this Garbodor up just so that I have, that damage down. Even though my opponent is like not going to be using any abilities. But to be honest, like I'm probably not going to be using any more abilities from here on out either. So that's kind of weird. I feel like I do that though. Like that's fine. Then we could put the Latios down. The Latios could hit into the Tapu Lele, but that just doesn't really get me a knockout. I feel like at this point, like I just want a knockout. So I think I will put the Latios down. And then I'm just going to end and hope I hit a DCE. Ooh, but I've got the one in the discard pile. I got 3 in deck. I think I've got a Field Blower, my opponent's Choice Band. Yeah, we're just going to take that off. That's fine. Just to increase my odds of hitting what I want here. I feel like, I could Righteous Edge again, so I probably am not going to put the Float Stone on my... I'll put the Float Stone on my active Drampa. And let's just... I could put the Choice Band here on my Latios, Choice Band here on my Garbodor, and let's just end. So that gives me the best odds possible hitting a double colorless energy, and we still whiffed. So here we go. What are we going to do with a rough-looking hand like this? Okay, let's just go ahead and Righteous Edge one more time. At least we're going to remove that double colorless. And hope that my opponent again does not hit the double colorless energy Choice Band Float Stone combination that they need to pull out a knockout. I guess they don't even need the double colorless at this point. They just need a Float Stone and they just need to do 120. Oh, that's it. All I needed was the Float Stone because they could just first impression my Drampa for knockout now, which seems pretty bad. However, with this Latios here, maybe I could get them to evolve through Po-Town and devolve them eventually. Maybe I go in with... no, because they're field blowing my Po-Town as we speak. How many items do they have down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 items down. That doesn't seem great. It actually seems pretty bad. I have, let's see, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I also have 5 items down. So they were able to evolve that Golisopod clean. This seems bad. This seems bad, guys. I'm not going to lie. I don't really like where this is going here. I do, however, and I am fine with the fact that my opponent promoted the Golisopod that was more clean, because that gives me an option to go in with Latios here if I'm able to nab a DCE. Like, that's super good. So I think what I want to do is Ultra Ball away the Bridget and the Garbodor. And then I'm going to get another Trash Lance Garbodor, which I don't have. So let me restate that. I'm going to get myself a Tapu Koko. And I think we're going to go for the devolve strategy this game just because but if my opponent just Acerolas like one time, that's so bad. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. I just don't, I'm in a weird spot. I feel like I don't have a lot of other options right now. I could Ultra Ball away the Guzma and the Trubbish. That's probably a good play just to get, all these excess cards out of my deck. Like I need desperately to hit a double colorless energy right now. Do have 3 in there. I need to hit something to take, to put some damage on the board, or at least pressure my opponent in some kind of way. And we got some psychic energies. Alrighty. That's not exactly what I wanted, but I'll live with it. My opponent does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 6 items in the discard pile. Let's go ahead and slap that Potown down. And 6, so 120. I could do 150 damage with the Garbodor. That just seems bad. Or I could do 40 damage with this Acid Spray Trubbish, which also just seems suboptimal. I feel like at this point, I'm probably just best off leaving my Garbodor in the active and then just like putting energy onto the Latios and just doing that and just passing. Because honestly, I'm not going to waste my Trash Lance Garbodor. My opponent could just, Acerola that thing up. And if they Acerola that thing up, that just puts me in an awful position. So I think I just need to hope that they don't Guzma up something important. And, yeah, they're totally going to Guzma up that Latios. This is fine. Just kick me around, why don't you? Where are my DCE? Where are my things? This is really bad. This is not good. It's not what you want. Couldn't you have just taken out my Garbodor? Come on now. Okay. So, that was not good. I probably should have just hit, in retrospect, maybe I should have just hit it with the Trash Lance Garbodor. This just doesn't seem good. So, at this point, I am going to put the Tapu Koko or the Choice Band there, and then let's just go ahead and end. And let's hope that we get a double colorless energy off this. And we did not. We still did not get the energy that we need. So we're going to go in with Trash Lance Garbodor here. And, I'm sick of it. So we're just going to do some damage and hope my opponent cannot respond with an Acerola or something like that, since I did end them to 3. And, we're going to wait and see. I'm not a huge fan of this deck, man. I thought that maybe it would feel a little more like Zoroark, but it just doesn't. Ugh. Let's see. My opponent's going to get the... Oh, my gosh. So they got 1 prize left to take. They can't lose now. They can't lose. They can knock out everybody on my opponent's side of the field, on my side of the field next turn. So, I don't think I have an option to actually win this game. Though my opponent does have a dead hand, it doesn't even matter. They're just going to crossing cut, and then they can just first impression with whatever they want next turn. Even with my Guzma, I could Guzma that Golisopod up, and hit it. But I guess, then they could armor press me for 100. God, that seems bad. Okay. Let's see here. I think I do Guzma up that Golisopod and hit it for 100. What can then they could retreat. They could just retreat manually. Oh, the agony. That's horrible. Do I actually have to go for Acid Spray? Because I'll do it if I have to. Let's see here. Let's just go in. Fine. Let's Rescue Stretcher and then put a Pokemon from my discard pile into my hand. Let's go ahead and grab the Espeon, I guess. Or I could grab the Drampa and I could Righteous Edge that thing with all the energy on it. That way they can't free retreat, and they might be locked into doing a suboptimal amount of damage. So let's just do that. Let's get the Drampa. All right. We're not down and out yet. We got some fight left in us. Let's go ahead. All right. I don't think I'm just playing into the loss here. Let me know if I am. But I think I just go ahead and Golisopod, get that Golisopod out here. And I think I just have to Righteous Edge it. And, that way they can't just easily knock out anything in my active position, but they can pretty easily knock out anything on my bench if they just get a 4th Guzma here, or a 4th Guzma. They have 3 in the discard pile. So if they are able to get their last Guzma, they'll take the game. But they're probably, just going to go ahead and armor press. Why not? That's fine. I'm not worried about it. This is not a big deal. I think I might have maybe going for the Espeon would have been better. Probably not, though. I mean, I could devolve everything, which would take that Golisopod out of the equation. And then if my opponent evolves back up through Potown, then they take some more damage. But, you know, they probably would have ended up just knocking that thing out anyway. So it's just, it's looking like it's just not going to happen, everybody. Not going to happen. You know, I don't know how this matchup typically goes just because I don't really ever play it, but it doesn't seem great. At least from my side of the field, like this matchup seems pretty bad, actually. Like I would definitely say bad. Seems not good. I don't really think I have any options here as far as where to go. I think I have to Sycamore. I think I have to Righteous Edge again, but with a different Drampa. But I think both my Drampas are dead. So let's just go ahead and Sycamore and see what we get. I did not get another Drampa. We can Float Stone and then retreat into my Lele, and I can hit it with that, but I can't promote anybody here on my bench that's just easily going to be knocked out. So we can do this. That's fine, but I gotta assume that my opponent is going to be able to get that last Guzma here somewhere. You know, I don't really think that I'm going to be able to do this dance around here for any longer, especially since my opponent does have you know, does have that thing. There they go. They got Guzma. So good game, everybody. We gave it our best shot. There's Drampa Garbodor. The deck is pretty good, but, you know, it didn't do very well in that matchup. But anyways, definitely is a top contender in this format. Maybe Espeon EX, you know, or Espeon GX would help me if I was playing, you know, the Espeon GX version. Maybe that would have helped me to just put a little more pressure on my opponent early. But they can really Guzma and Acerola out of that early confusion. So, you know, it doesn't really seem like that would have been all that. Anyways, thank you all for watching the video. Let me know what you all think of Drampa Garbodor in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.